Hi and welcome to my summer shop update. Today I would like to introduce you to 3 of my latest digital printable paper packs that I've created for my Etsy shop and of course for you. We are going to talk about some really cute tiny fish today and about some cool water. I thought perhaps some of you might need a cooling. I definitely need that. Here in Austria, it's summer at the moment and it's really hot. So perhaps where you live, it's summer as well at the moment and you need a little bit of cool water as well. So then this paper is definitely for you. It also gets really floral today and colorful, and there are also some bubbles involved. Okay, so let's start with this one. This is called Summerfish Junk Journal Pages. And what you can see here on this first paper is the same thing that you can also see in my Etsy shop. So if you want to remember this picture, then you can find it relatively easy just by searching this. Or of course, you can also write down the name, Summerfish Junk Journal Pages. Then you can also find it really easily with the help of the search bar on my Etsy shop or in my Etsy shop. That's better English, I guess. But of course, you can also find the link down below in the description box. I will link every paper pack that I will show you today separately down below the video. So there in the description box, there's written Summerfish Junk Journal Pages, and then there's the direct link where you can click to, and then you can come directly to that item. When I created this set, I don't know why, but yeah, actually, I know why, but it was a little bit strange, but in a positive way strange. I thought about Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. If you know her and her channel, you know that she probably might like these colors, even if her combination of yellow and turquoise is a little bit different, because her turquoise colors are always a little bit lighter and softer, nearly pastel turquoise, but somehow I thought about her when I made this. I mean, she's cute, yeah, and these fishies are cute as well. Perhaps that is a reason. But it was the whole time like she was sitting next to me and talking to me what I shall do with these fishes and the flowers. That was really strange. I wanted to have something that is really unrealistic, really cute, really like doodlish, you know, doodling with a pen. I will later explain in detail what I mean by that. And I wanted to have something where you can really, yeah, like dive into and do your own things. Let your creativity and your fantasy, especially your fantasy, flow a little bit and do your own thing with this. For these pages, there's no ephemera pack available. You perhaps know from my shop, normally I do pages and an ephemera pack, if it's possible for me and if it makes sense for the pages, yeah. But in this case, I thought I don't want to make an ephemera pack because I want to challenge myself, because of course I will use this paper by myself as well. And I want to challenge you, and I want to show you that you can take these pages and make your own ephemera and your own embellishments out of them really easily. Yeah. So for example, let's say you have this page and you want to make a fish themed journal. Then, of course, you can take the page, fold it in half, and you would have the perfect journaling page. Put it into your signature, so the signature into the journal, ready to go. But let's say you need a belly band. Then just go with this page to your paper trimmer and, for example, cut it off here. And then you would have the perfect belly band. If you don't want to have a half fish here, of course, you can also just trim it like this, and you would have the perfect belly band. Or trim it here, additionally, and you would have the perfect journaling card. Just back that with some sturdier paper, and you would have the perfect ephemera. That was my thought behind that. because sometimes I think that when you buy a digital printable paper pack, you think, oh, there was someone who has designed the paper and I can't cut it, I can't tear it, I can't do anything with it. Sometimes I have the feeling that you are a little bit afraid of making your own thing out of the paper, but that is exactly what we as digital designers want you to do. Yeah, so that is some kind of a little challenge for you. For example, on this page, you can see when you look a little bit closer that here are really strange things flying around. They look a little bit like weird colored candy corn. See it as what you want, but can you see this little guy here? I mean, put 2 eyes to him or here and you would have the cutest little creature in the ocean ever. Yeah, so that is something that I did on purpose so that you can be really, really creative with this paper pack. Also with the flowers, you could change them up completely by adding little lines with a black pen, or you could also draw something over them, of course. And I also would like to point out something that I have done with the style of the fish, the flowers, and like everything. So if you want to compare, for example, both of these fish, you can see that the style of these is really, really different. Yeah, they look like they are painted, but they are totally different. I wanted to have them matching each other color-wise. You can see everything is like yellowish and turquoise-ish, but the style of the fish and also of the flowers is really, really different on each of the pages. And that brings, in my eyes, and hopefully in yours as well, the possibility to have a journal that is fish themed, but at the same time, you don't have the same fish on every page. Yeah, so that was the goal. Also with the background, you can see this looks totally different than on the other pages. So I tried to get some variation into it, but having it matchy at the same time. This is also something that you could consider as 2 paper packs in one, because some of the pages have, as you could see, fish on them with the flowers, but there are also pages that only have flowers, meaning if you want to have this for your own collection of papers, then you could easily do 2 different themes with this one paper pack. You could make a fish-themed junk journal or any other papercraft project, of course, and you could also use these floral pages here for something else, make a second journal, or like cards that don't need fish. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to have also some pages where you can also add other focal points if you want. For example, seahorses or starfishes or something like that would fit here really well. So you could make some friends for the fish on the other pages. Here's one page, and that's this one, that has something special. Perhaps you can see it already. This looks like there are many flowers, like a seamless pattern or laying around, or I don't know how I can say that. But here are many flowers, but some of them look like fish. This one here, for example, and this one, but you can see they don't have a soul yet. So you have to add the soul to them, meaning you can add some eyes and other details to make your own fish in between of these flowers here. And I did that on purpose, that you could also leave them exactly like they are. I mean, if you look at the page like this makes sense, yeah? It's not like the fish are falling out or something, or they, in my eyes, they don't look dead, yeah? That was the main goal, that they look like you can leave them like they are without looking dead. So I hope I could manage that. But if you think they are dead, then just put an eye here and some other details, and then the fish are alive. You could also use a black pen for doodling. I think this set is really, really like screaming doodling. You can see these really dark brown lines in the background that nearly looks like it was made with a black pen. I did that digitally, but it looks like it, you know, someone has drawn these lines. And of course, you could take a black pen and doodle around here. You could also add some details to the flowers, not only to the fish. Yeah, you could also make some really interesting center areas here of the flowers, or to something totally different. On those pages where the background, this turquoise, is darker, here for example, you could also use a white pen. I think that would look really interesting. Or here, if you would add some tiny white blossoms, for example, I think that could look really interesting. You could turn this summer paper. I mean, I made it as a summer paper, yeah, but you could easily turn this into a winter paper as well. These bubbles look like snow. Add the right things on top and you have a totally like unusual winter paper, I would say. And yeah, I hope you like this, of course. I love this page. This page is just, I think this is one of my favorite pages of the whole set, but yeah. Okay, so that was that. Summer Fish Junk Journal pages. The link is down below in the description box, of course. Okay, so the next one is called Summer Splash, and this is a junk journal kit. So that means you get pages and ephemera with this kit, and as you can see, it is really a lot. This is a huge kit, but I wanted to have something that you can have and where you not necessarily need something else. Yeah, that sounds a bit weird because a junk journal, you know, is made out of different kinds of papers. But I wanted to have something also for those people who don't have such a big stash yet. Yeah, so that you can say, okay, I have this, I have my ephemera, and I don't need anything else. If I find something, then of course I can add it, but I'm not like in the trouble of buying something else or collecting something else. I have everything at hand that I need. Here, this is relatively colorful. Some of you might think, what the heck has happened to Louise? Everything is okay, but I wanted to have something that is like a printed version of what is in my head at the moment. And if you could look into my head, you would see exactly what you see on these pages with all of these colors, with this like water and really extreme and busy, whimsical flowers. Perhaps it's the heat at the moment that brings such things to my head. I don't know, but of course I hope you like this. And on the pages themselves, I did something that you perhaps can't realize in the video so well, so I will point that out. As you can see on the pages that you have seen already, the flowers are really concrete, so there's no grunge, no distressing or something like that. They are really, let's call them clear, to explain what I'm trying to explain here at the moment. Let's call these flowers clear. Yeah, no distressing, no grunge, nothing. You can see that you have several pages of those. All of them, all of those that are laying there, which I've already shown you, are in this clear style as well. But then you can also find these pages. And I think you can see the difference at first glance. This is really distressed. It looks nearly like sanded with a sanding paper or something like that. But it has the same colors and this floral theme like the other pages as well. And I thought something behind that. On this page you can see what I thought. So let's take that to the side to make the example just in a second. You get several of these distressed pages. I just want to show you them so that this is not too confusing. These can also be used really well as journaling space, of course. Because of the distressed look of these pages, you have a really nice surface to write on, and it's not too busy, so that you still can read what you have written. But of course you can also use that to glue some things on the pages, and that's exactly what I want to explain now. Why are these pages distressed and why are the other pages in this clear style? So please imagine, so let me just show you the rest of these pages before the ephemera comes. We have this one. Here is also like a mix, like on this one that I've just put aside. You can see that I did this really with a lot of variation, I think that's the right word, so that these get really versatile. Some of them, like this for example, have only a few flowers in the edges here, so that you have much space to write or make a collage or something like that. And this is, by the way, my favorite page of the whole set. I really like this. Okay, so here the ephemera starts, and now I can explain what I thought with these different styles. So here you can see that relatively well. You can see here what happens if such a clear flower is on this distressed background. When you look at this page, you can see that the flowers are really popping out. Yeah, they are jumping into your eye, and that is what you can reach with gluing the ephemera to the pages as well. Yeah, you can do really cool things with that. So let's make an example. Let's, for example, say you want to use this journaling card, but you want to use that as a pocket. Yeah, you can take the journaling cards or everything else and turn that into something totally different, or use it as a journaling card, of course. This is the clear style of the flowers. And now let's take one of the distressed pages, and I will take one that is really extremely distressed and really like abstract. Let's say we take this page and we want to take this and glue that down as a pocket. Now please imagine this is glued down, and compare this with this. Then you can see that the flowers are popping out even more than if you would just hold this in front of your eye. Yeah, and also more than if you would put that to such a concrete page that gives a totally different style. Can you see that? I'm so hoping that you can see what I thought and what you can do with it, because, you know, it's so sometimes a little bit hard for me to explain that in English. But look here, this is both clear. It's like really matchy, and this is like merging into this, but it's not popping out. If you want that, of course, you can do it exactly like that, yeah? But if you want to have that popping out, then just take this and glue that to one of the distressed pages. Or if you have a pocket here and you want to put this as a card into the pocket, then just take the pocket and glue it to a distressed page. Yeah, so that way you can get really, really cool effects. And of course, you can also do that the other way around. So, for example, you could take these distressed tuck spots or these belly bands or the banners that are distressed and glue them to this more concrete, one of the more concrete pages, and you will get the opposite effect of what I've just tried to explain. Yeah, I'm hoping that makes sense. And I also made the pockets, for example, and all of the other, nearly all of the other ephemera, so that you can also cut them smaller if you want. Of course, you could take this and print it smaller, but you know the situation. You have printed it out in the original size, and then you realize that you, for example, made a journal that has pages which are cut off here, so that you don't have the full width anymore, and then you are in trouble with these pockets. So just cut it off here. You can see this, you know, it's not really necessary that it is there. Also here, you could also cut it off here. Just, you know, pay attention to this little half hole there, that it looks not weird, but you could easily turn that into a different size, even if you have printed it in the original size. But please feel free to print that smaller if you want. And if you don't want to cut around that, you can also, of course, print it smaller. The same with these giant tags here. I've made them because I know that many people enjoy having these giant tags where the background is already done and you can just cut them out and then put your stuff here on top. And I thought, yeah, also for all of you who don't have, for example, inks or something else to create a colorful background, then you could just use them like they are. And this thing with the more with the more concrete and clear images on the distressed background, you could also do that the other way around, of course. So let me make an example, because here you can see that these tags are all with this like clear version of the flowers. Also this one, and this one as well. You have wished for more tags, so here are a lot of tags. But here, for example, and I also have, where is that? I think I've mixed my order here. Here we go. This one here has the same shape of these smaller tags, but this is the distressed version. And of course, you can also do this thing, what I've just explained, the other way around. If you take such a distressed thing, then you have already something that is really in the background, yeah? And you can vary what you put on here just by like choosing something that is popping out, and it will automatically pop out. So let me make an example for that as well. Let's say we want to take this, or I think today I want to have pink. Let's say we want to take this journaling card and turn that into a pocket. And you can see this is the distressed style of the, so these flowers. So let's take one of the like concrete and clear pages, for example this one, and now please imagine that this goes on here. Then you can see the background is really concrete. This gets really into the background of this thing, and then when you now take something that is going to be your focal point and you put that on here, you get the concretest thing ever. Yeah, and you have like a really diffuse, is that an English word, background, and no matter what you glue here, that will pop out anyway. Yeah, so you can do this trick the other way around, of course, as well. So here we have one page more. I think I have skipped something, or is this the last page? No, I think that was the last page. But of course you can also see all of the pages in my Etsy shop in detail. So there are preview pictures, of course, and there you can see them. And if you want to remember the name, this was Summer Splash Junk Journal Kit. Okay, so and then this is the last one. This is called ARTSY Bubbles, and these are journal backgrounds. That means that you get, and this is, by the way, a relatively small set, but I think it's really interesting for different things that you might want to do. When you read on this preview thingy here, journal backgrounds, then you can expect something that is either neutral and or abstract, and you can expect that you have a lot of journaling space and or space for your own collaging, for example, or drawing things, writing, and all of that stuff. So I think it makes sense when you see this. Here, for example, you can easily imagine to fold that in half, have your journaling space here. You can also decorate this area, but this is like a background, yeah? You have to think like this is not complete yet. It gets complete when you take it and make it into your own and then put it into your journal. And this is like underwater bubblish at first glance, but you can also find really, really many other themes that could work with this paper. For example, who says that this is a bubble underwater? This could also be a moon. Perhaps you want to try to make a turquoise Halloween journal. Then you have the perfect moon here. I'm a little bit into Halloween at the moment, as you can guess. Here's Halloween stuff laying all around, all over my room, and perhaps that influences me a little bit when I think about themes for a journal where you can use this paper. But of course, also some like more closer things would work here. For example, I mean, closer to see the theme. For example, seahorses would work here really well. You could also, of course, combine this with the summerfish paper that I have just shown you. This would make really pages that calm down this busy look of the summerfish paper. You could also have more like neutral journaling space with this in between of the other pages. And what I also could imagine is a candy theme. Sometimes these circles look a little bit like you could eat them. This is also something. I can see bats flying around here. I mean, I'm back at Halloween, but perhaps you want to try that. But I mean, this looks like abstract moons. This could at the same time be underwater. I mean, we could also try to combine fish and bats. Why not? And what I also thought with this page, and that works with the others as well, but especially with this, I think, perhaps you know this bubble technique that, for example, Barbara at 49 Dragonflies has done very often. She has really good videos about that. Check that out if you haven't seen it. She takes a mixture out of water and soap and ink and acrylic paints and really suspicious mixture. Then she takes a straw and blows into the mixture so that you get these bubbles, and then she presses the paper onto the bubbles and she gets a really cool pattern on her paper. Imagine you would do that only in these bubbles. Barbara, I think I will send you this page so that you can take out your mixture, because I don't have such a mixture, and you can just try that out for me, please. If you have time, please call me. Would be really interested how that looks, if it looks like it is in my head or if it's only good in my head and shit in reality. That could also be the fact. So this reminds me to so many things. Seahorses, Christmas. I mean, put a girl with a hat here who is throwing a snowball, who says that this can't be snow. And here's a boy that cries and has the snow on his head. So that way you would have the perfect winter scene. Very realistic also, by the way. And this reminds me to ginkgo leaves in some way. I think it's because of these little things here. This looks nearly like an eye without this black thingy iris. So you could turn it into an eye. I mean, Halloween is close. Turn it into an eye and let some bats fly around. But I don't know why, but this also reminds me to ginkgo. I don't know. I think it's because I'm such a big ginkgo fan, and since my ginkgo tree that I have, you have explained that word to me. Propagated? Is that the word? From a ginkgo seed that I brought back from Rome. Since that tree, it's just a tiny tree, has no leaves anymore and seems to get no leaves in the future, I'm even more into ginkgo because I'm so wishing that this little tree gets more leaves. But anyway, so that was Artsy Bubbles journal backgrounds. You can find the link for this in the description box as well, of course. So that's it for today. I wish you happy shopping, happy printing, and of course, happy crafting with these papers. See you the next time. Bye bye.